The flat Earth inside out, the hollow Earth theory that scientists actually took seriously. In 1692, Edmund Halley, astronomer, mathematician, and the man who calculated the orbit of the comet that bears his name, published a paper proposing that the Earth is hollow. He was attempting to explain a puzzling observation. The Earth's magnetic field appeared to have two poles that drifted at different rates. His explanation was that the Earth consisted of a hollow outer shell, with two inner concentric spheres inside, each rotating at slightly different speeds, each generating its own magnetic field. The inner spheres were inhabited. The interior was lit by a luminous atmosphere. Halley's proposal was not considered absurd in its time. The nature of the Earth's interior was genuinely unknown. The laws of gravity suggested the Earth was denser than it appeared from surface rocks alone, which, Halley argued, was consistent with an outer shell and inner spheres rather than a uniformly solid interior. His theory was refined and extended by subsequent thinkers, including Leonhard Euler, who replaced Halley's concentric spheres with a single hollow interior lit by a small interior sun, and John Leslie, who proposed two small suns illuminating the inner world. The most significant American proponent was John Cleves Sims Jr., an Army officer who, in 1818, distributed a circular to every member of Congress and every scientific institution in the United States, announcing his theory that the Earth was hollow and habitable within, with openings at both poles. He called these openings Sims's holes. He then began petitioning Congress directly to fund an expedition to the North Pole to find and enter the opening. He received substantial support. Congress debated the proposal. It was never funded, but only narrowly. Polar entrance theory was compelling to many because the poles were genuinely unexplored in the 19th century. The anomalous observations that polar explorers reported, compasses behaving strangely near the magnetic pole, unexpectedly warm temperatures in some regions, sightings of open water where ice was expected, were interpreted by hollow Earth proponents as evidence of nearby openings. None of these anomalies, when properly understood, required a hollow Earth, but before they were properly understood, they provided apparent support. The most famous modern hollow Earth story involves Admiral Richard Byard, the legendary US Navy explorer who conducted multiple expeditions to Antarctica and the Arctic. A diary attributed to Byard, allegedly written in 1947, describes flying to the North Pole and entering an opening that led to an inner world, warm, green, inhabited by mammoths and an advanced civilization called the Aryani, who gave him a message for humanity. The diary appeared in the 1970s and has been widely distributed in hollow Earth communities. Most historians of Byard's life consider it a fabrication. Science has definitively resolved the question of Earth's interior structure. Seismic waves produced by earthquakes travel through the Earth and are detected by monitoring stations worldwide. The behavior of these waves, specifically the way different types of waves travel through solid and liquid materials at different speeds and angles, allows geologists to map the Earth's interior with precision. The data shows unambiguously a solid inner core of iron and nickel, surrounded by a liquid outer core, surrounded by a mantle of solid rock, surrounded by the relatively thin crust we live on. There is no hollow space. There are no openings at the poles. The hollow Earth belief persists online and in fringe communities, sometimes connected to UFO theory, the inner world as the origin of flying saucers, which emerge from polar openings, and sometimes to Nazi mythology, which proposed that Hitler and surviving Nazi leaders escaped to a hollow Earth base after World War II. These modern iterations are not scientific theories. They are mythologies that use the hollow Earth framework to construct alternative histories and cosmologies. The original scientific interest in hollow Earth has been transformed into something very different. What the history of the hollow Earth theory actually reveals is something important about science, that ideas which seem obviously absurd now were not always so. Halley was not a fool. He was one of the greatest scientists of his era. The hollow Earth theory was wrong, but it was a wrong answer to a genuine question posed in an era when the tools to answer it properly did not yet exist. The history of science is full of such ideas. Today's confident certainties will, in some cases, be tomorrow's hollow Earth. The universe has a way of being stranger than we predict and less strange than we hope.